Hello everyone, this is Alex with Collectibles, and we are continuing our 4-color identity commanders with Yidris, Maelstrom Wielder. Helming the deck, Yidris' Flood. Yidris is a 4-mana value commander for blue, black, red, and green. It's a legendary creature, ogre wizard with power and toughness 4 and 5, and the following abilities. It has trample, and when Yidris deals combat damage to a player, as you cast spells from your hand this turn, they gain Cascade. So we're going to be swinging in and casting spells. Now what is Cascade? When you cast a spell, you exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. You put the exiled cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. So if you don't cast anything, it just goes to the bottom of your library. Yidris can be built a few ways. The most common that I've seen is a spell slinger deck, but that's not what this deck is. So let's get to it. But first, our veggies are important, starting with ramp. Our ramp includes Bender's Waterskin, Domri, Anarch of Bolas, which also makes it to where our creatures can't be countered, and Creature Ramp in Deathcap Cultivator and Ignoble Hierarch, among a few others. We'll be visiting Seer's Lantern a little later. For our card advantage, we have cards like Consider, Expressive Iteration, and Preordain, which get cards in hand. With Rashmi and Illuna, we get free spells as well as permanents. And if you copy Rashmi or Illuna with double major, you end up with 2 copies, except one is not a legendary. Our disruption includes cards like Ionize, Eloquentia, and Soul Manipulation to counter spells, and some targeted permanent destruction and exile with Feed the Swarm and Kozilek's Command, a versatile spell you can use for ramp, draw, or disruption. Our mass disruption includes cards like Blasphemous Act, Culling Ritual, and even a spell that counters all other spells in Summary Dismissal. We are going to be cascading, so manipulating the top of our library will be very important. And the 2 best ways to do this is with Scry and Surveil. Scry allows us to look at the top of the library, depending on what Scry it is. So Scry 1 would be 1, and you can choose to put it on top or on the bottom of the library. Surveil does the same thing, but instead of the bottom of the library, it's either on top or into your graveyard. So we added cards like Joe D and Wretched Doll with repeatable Surveil, with Joe D making copies as well. Judy, however, creates a token that's a copy of herself, giving us another Surveil creature. However, we do have to sacrifice a creature or artifact. We have other cards that Surveil or Scry, and when we do Scry, we will also get a benefit from a new card from the Avatar set, Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong, which itself allows us to Scry. But it also gives us a free spell. Whenever you Scry or Surveil, look at the top card of your library. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Do this only once each turn. Look at the card after you Scry or Surveil. So we get a benefit from all our scrying and surveilling. And we had to add Wan Shi Tong to the deck because with the scrying and surveilling and Yidris' ability, we're putting cards back into our library, which will trigger Wan Shi and give us spirit tokens. So the point of the deck is to swing with Yidris to trigger and cascade into other spells. But what's better than 1 Yidris? 2. By using double major when you cast Yidris, you end up with 2 Yidrises on the field, able to swing and trigger twice. Or have Felix 5 boots on the field to have your Yidris trigger twice, giving your spells 2 cascade triggers. Yidris will get targeted for removal, so we have Malakaru Birth to allow us to have it come back to the field, as well as Alicia, who lives at Fate, allowing us to bring a creature back from the graveyard with mana value less than or equal to Alicia's power. In addition, we have other creatures to help swing in and get value, with Shadow Mage Infiltrator having Fear and drawing us a card, and Glint-Eye Nephilim doing the same. Grenzo will allow us to put creatures from the bottom of the library into the graveyard. And if that creature's power is less than or equal to Grenzo's power, we put it onto the battlefield. With all the scrying we're doing, we will be able to see what's there. The deck isn't a fast deck. It will win slowly through the value from our free spells. How would you build Yidris? Let me know in the comments below. We have 2 more 4-color commander decks left. Which do you want to see? Best of luck in your games, best of luck in your pulls, and have a good one.